Come off it, George.
That's right.
Was this the guy who gave you the formula for the time machine?
That's the man.
And what form did the formula take? Did he implant it in your mind by telepathy, or did he give you something written in English?
He spoke it to me verbally.
And you remembered this?
There's nothing to it to remember.
Will you tell me now? The formula for a time machine.
F equals 1 over T.
F equals 1 over T.
F being frequency and T being time.
And this enables me to go back to the time of Caesar's armies conquering Britain.
Well, it would enable a mathematician to work this out, yes.
In this lesson, we will build a class of psychedelic bass kick from the formula F equals 1 over T, frequency of 1 over time. George Van Tasell in the 1950s talked about a being from another world who gave him the formula F equals 1 over T, frequency equals 1 over time. Imagine a point in time when time equals 0, a 50th of a second after the 0 event point. The frequency will be 50 cycles per second, or 50 hertz. A tenth of a second after the 0 event point, the frequency will be a tenth of a hertz, 10 cycles per second. A third of a second after the point, the frequency will be 3 hertz. So if we want F equals 1 over T plus base frequency, that's frequency equals 1 over time plus lower base frequency. That is a frequency descending from infinity to approach a bass note at the end. We need to take the integral of frequency with respect to time and place the resultant integral in the sound wave displacement expression, which is sine of 2 pi times the integral of frequency with respect to time. In old academic circles, it was written for constant frequency, y equals sine of 2 pi times frequency times time. That's sine of 2 pi times f times t. So a resolved expression where the frequency is changing is sine of 2 pi times the integral of frequency with respect to time. Our previous expression for the f equals 1 over t bass kick is frequency equals 1 over time plus base frequency, which we will write f equals 1 over t plus b. For those not already so familiar with evaluating integrals, we will briefly say integration is the opposite of differentiation. Differentiation is a rate of change of a variable like time, so the integral is the opposite of the differential. We will just show that the evaluated integral of our expression is integral is log of time plus base frequency times time. Log is written natural logarithm ln, not to be confused with log to base 10, which is log. We will discuss this elsewhere in depth. Okay, so this is Goldwave. L here. Make it 5 seconds. Tools, expression evaluator. The expression is sine of 2 times pi times log of t plus base frequency, we could call it 61 hertz times time. There's an error there. I think it's because the initial t you didn't put in 0.001. Let me try again. There. Okay, that's a nice bass sounding kick. At 61 hertz. I'll save this. Give it a name. And I'll go in the right direction. bass kick, 1, 61 hertz. Do another one, 2 set pressure body weight instead of 61 octave, that's a factor 1. We'll do a factor 4. Okay, general calculation, now we did do initial T, no. That's a bit of a wider bass, it descends a bit slower. Make another one. We'll do a factor 8 instead. We'll do no. Okay, that's a very wider kick, but we'll save it. Bass kick. 8. This is our workstation. Okay, we're going to put EQ on this bass kick now. We're going to boost the bass higher and bring the high frequencies down in accordance with the power distribution law. You know, high frequencies are quiet, bass frequencies are loud.
Of how old they were, or what they ate, or where they came from at all?
After we got off the ship, the man who invited me aboard, who didn't look a day over 28 years of age, told me that he was over 700 years of age in our time.
Oh, come off it, George.
That's right.
Was this the guy who gave you the formula for the time machine?
That's the man.
And what form did the formula take? Did he implant it in your mind by telepathy, or did he give you something written in English?
He spoke it to me verbally.
And you remembered this?
There's nothing to it to remember.
Will you tell me now? The formula for a time machine.
F equals 1 over T.
F equals 1 over T.
F being frequency and T being time.